Hey everybody, this is graphic designer Roberto Blake. In previous videos, I've actually talked about how you become a graphic designer or how you become a logo designer or a print designer, but a lot of that was geared much more toward people who are already in their professional career cycle or starting their career cycle. In this video, I'd actually like to talk to students about how you learn to become a graphic designer. So if you want to learn to become a graphic designer, there's a lot of different skills involved, but if you have a background in visual arts, then it's a little easier, meaning that if you've already done some photography or you've done illustration, then you already have some of the base skills that are actually going to help you a lot if you decide to become a graphic designer in your career. One of the best ways to start learning graphic design is with the internet. Now, I know a lot of people would say, well, what about schooling or your local library or books or different things like that? But I'm going to say the internet because we're living in 2014. This is the modern age and it's right at your fingertips. It's probably right there at your fingertips right now in terms of your smartphone. So again, this is going to be the quickest and fastest way for you to learn because you can just ask questions and you can get answers. You can get them by watching YouTube channels like this one and have actual real professionals work in the field, give you their views, opinion, and some of them will actually respond to your comments like I do when you post them. So you can get honest real-time feedback instead of information that may or may not be outdated from 10 years ago. The other thing is maybe you have some financial restrictions on your ability to buy books on graphic design or take graphic design classes. But that's okay because with the internet, you have access to all kinds of things like graphic design blogs, Wikipedia, and different things, including free ebooks that will teach you about graphic design principles, graphic design history, and you can watch graphic design lectures on YouTube. You can also use this online site called Udemy, and for something that's much more affordable, you can take classes or courses on graphic design taught by professionals who are actually working in the field. You can also do free courses online with Udemy when those are available. The internet's also a great place to find graphic design books if you actually can afford to buy them. So you can go ahead and check out people's reviews and recommendations on Amazon. There are plenty of graphic designers like Karen Cavett that have different book recommendations. So again, there's all this access of information that's available through the internet that just wasn't there before when many of us were starting out and becoming graphic designers. There wasn't a lot of information out there in general unless you either found a professional to talk to or took a college course, which is of course both of those are valid ways to learn graphic design. One of the best ways you can learn graphic design is by actually doing it under the tutelage of a skilled professional. So if there's someone who has either an internship opportunity for you that's working as a graphic designer, or if there's the opportunity to become an informal apprentice to them, then that's a great way to learn graphic design and learn the practical applications of it today and how someone does it for a living and what the reality is that is and see if it's really for you. Just make sure that if you become someone's apprentice that they're not a Sith Lord. The rule of two doesn't really work out for anybody. One of the core things that you should focus on learning as a graphic designer is not the tools like Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign, although they're extremely important. They'll only become valuable if you have the ability to execute them using the graphic design principles. These are things like color theory and the Gestalt uniforming principles that I will cover in other videos, but you should really look into them as much as possible and really get a grasp of these basic concepts before you really invest in becoming a graphic designer with regard to buying hardware and software for it. Now, some books I will recommend for studying graphic design are The Non-Designer's Guide to Graphic Design. I think it's a great book and it's a good reference even if you are already a graphic designer, so definitely check that out. Another book that I would highly recommend is Thinking with Type. Yeah, I actually had to do a cut there because it was really hard for me to say that properly. Try saying Thinking with Type 10 times fast. I bet you can't do it. And finally, one of my personal favorites, How to Become a Graphic Designer Without Losing Your Soul. This book is a must read and you just have to check it out for yourself. If you're going to be a graphic designer and you are planning to go to college, I might actually recommend that you not get a degree in graphic design and that you instead get a degree in either fine arts or marketing. And here's the reason why. Graphic designers are judged purely on their portfolio and their overall presentation skills and personality. You are judged on the results that you produce. Having a degree is just a filtering process and mechanism. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't take formal graphic design classes. I'm saying that you should probably take them as electives, just depending on your level of overall skill. And a lot of the fine art stuff will actually overlap and will probably actually help you grow in a skill that you don't already have, or things that you can't pick up along the way. A lot of the best graphic designers that I've ever met and that probably compete in the field today were very much self-educated, because it's the type of personality that allows you to be successful in business and your career in general. If you feel like you're going to be dependent on a traditional education in order to make you a great graphic designer, it's not going to make you a great graphic designer. It's going to give you the principles of graphic design, it's going to give you history, it's going to give you practice, it's going to give you exposure to the tools, but those are things that you can actually get without paying the expensive college tuition to do. If you're going to pay that much money, I suggest investing it in something that's a little more versatile. And something that is more versatile is either a fine arts degree, a degree in digital media, or a degree in marketing. These are things that will help you leverage your capabilities as a graphic designer. And again, a lot of the skills cross over, a lot of the courses cross over, and you'll be able to take graphic design electives to make sure that you have a true understanding and a formal background in design. Speaking of self-taught designers, if you plan to go this route, or if you're too young to be thinking about college right now, then you can do a lot by yourself to prepare to become a graphic designer by trying to recreate graphic design projects in real life. Just look at book covers, magazine covers, billboards, or movie posters, and try to build them yourself from scratch. You can do this and start by sketching them out, which is what I recommend, to give you a sense of composition and layout, as well as visual balance. And then you can go to doing comps and mock-ups, which will help you polish your illustration skills. If you actually have access to open source design software, or even the professional stuff, then you can actually try and explore with those skills how you approach creating those projects in the traditional design suites. This can be really helpful in terms of helping you establish your own workflow and style, which is going to be very important down the road. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it answered some of your questions on how you learn to become a graphic designer. If you still have questions, feel free to leave those in the comments below. Like this video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out the other videos on this YouTube channel. And again, thanks for watching.